All right, hello. It's me again. It's a Monday. Don't know when you're watching this, but it's a Monday here. And I've got a canvas up here, 12 by 16. I've got some medium on it. You could use liquid clear or liquid white. I use liquid clear. So, I don't know, I've had a preference for that lately. Trying to keep very vivid colors. Liquid clear works a little better. And it's going to be a super simple painting with some just fun colors. So I'm hoping it works out. And again, as always, if you're seeing it, it passed my qualifications for posting. So we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to start with an Indian yellow. Grab me a little bit on my brush here. Okay. And really, this will be our horizon line somewhere down through here. It's mainly a sky. It is based on a picture that my mom took. So we're going to put some color on here and see what happens with it. I'm just kind of working that brush this way, putting some of this on. And we'll bring this all the way down, almost all the way down. Maybe a little more paint. Oh. Stab the paint there. There we go. A little bit more in there. And it comes pretty much all the way over. Pretty much. And we're going to try to get close to the photograph. And I'll show you the photograph when I'm done. Alright, that should do that. Now I'm just looking over here at the scene and figuring out what I want next. I think I want maybe a little crimson next. A little bit of crimson. So I'm going from Indian yellow to a little bit of crimson here. Yeah, that's about what I want. That's about right. I'll put this on here kind of sparingly for now. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to grab a little bright red. I've got that out too. There. That's what I'm looking for. A little bit of bright red. And you can let some of that meander down. You don't want to have just a hard stop. You want to kind of blend those edges together. And I want to get rid of that crimson that I actually put on there and just put the bright red. Trying to work on that from that photo and it wasn't looking right. So it's a bright red I need. Yeah, bright red's really pretty too. And it's one of those colors you just don't get to use a lot. So now's your opportunity. I'll just kind of match up here right over. I'm making noise tonight. Right between those two. Just kind of blend it a little bit. Just kind of knock that down. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more bright red even. Maybe just right in here. And we'll blend this a little bit here as we keep going. I want to keep this area a little bit lighter because we're going to come back with a little bit of yellow, I believe. And I'm going to take the crimson and the red and mix those two together to about equal parts. Yeah, a little bit darker, adding the two together there. It's going to be very red until we put something else on here. I'm hoping this works out because it's a pretty picture. I don't paint from photographs very often. A little bit more over here. When you use that little rocking stroke, it's almost like little cloud shapes that you get in here that you really won't have to do much to when you want to blend. So you can leave little specks of dark areas and light areas and things of that nature. There, just make sure you cover the edges of the canvas. And while my brush is fairly clean of paint, I'm just going to start working this up. And there's a reason. Just faintly. I want that to stay fairly dark. I'm going to put a little bit of this color and whatever's on my brush. I'm just going to take it all the way up actually. And not much. just enough. It should be a quick one if it hits off right. It should be a quick painting. There we go. Just covering up a little bit more of that sky. And if we wanted to, we could take a 2-inch and just kind of go across what we painted so far. Maybe just kind of start down in the yellow and come up through the red would be easier. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Adjust that camera just a little bit. There. Alright. So now I'm going to take my knife. I've got phthalo blue out. I'm going to show you. Phthalo blue and a little crimson on my knife. I'm going to mix those two together. A little bit more crimson than blue. A little bit more crimson than blue. I'll give you a super pretty lavender color. Or you may just say it gives you a purple. Whatever. If we want it pretty dark up here, let's check that. A little bit more lavender. I'm sorry, a little bit more crimson in that. Mix it up with my knife. You can mix it on a brush too, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It was too dark before. Too dark. A little bit more crimson. A little bit more crimson. There we go. There, perfect. Perfect. See that purpley color coming in there? And pretty much it kind of goes like this. Right up in here. Just right up in there. And it kind of works almost down and back this way. I want to keep the sky really dark up here at the top though. Keeping that sky really nice and dark. Bring it a little bit down. Remember, we don't want to have edges for our paint. We want them to blend kind of together naturally. Let's see here. Yeah, a little bit more dark up here. I'm using that little rocking motion. Instead of turning the brush this way, I've got it this way. And that may help you to keep your brush strokes from getting too big. And control the paint just a little bit better that way. It's pretty dark up here, the picture I'm looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Okay. Maybe a little more. Remember, the key here is to always start with less paint and work back. So if you put a lot of paint on here, you're going to have to, you know, Bob said, you son of a gun, take it back off, and it's true. So start with less and add more as needed. Maybe there's a tinge of blue up in this corner. And let's kind of work that across too, just blue on top of our lavender. If it gets to be too much, we'll knock it down with something here. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Crazy looking sky. Okay, I'm going to blend this just a touch. Now be careful, if you have any yellow on your brush, you'll get green, so you may want to clean. I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to set this down a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to darken that up too. Needs to be super dark. There. Alright, I'm going to grab me a clean 1-inch brush because I've got several going here. Just a clean one. Maybe. Gotta be careful here. Get orange or something. But I'm going to put a little bit of, let that bright red just kind of keep going up there too. Into that color. That's okay, the blue and red won't hurt each other. Unless you really mix them together, then you might get something you don't like. Just throwing some paint on here and seeing what happens. Yeah. I'm kind of laying it out for the picture here. There we go. Yeah. All right. I think that's about what I want. I'm going to take a little touch of blue, a little touch of red. It'll be a little darker. It'll almost make black if you added a lot. Oh, not quite. I'm going to blend these together a good bit. The sun's set, not the sunrise. Put a little bit of that down. Alright. Now we gotta try something fun here. I'm going to take a filbert brush because I've got it. I could use a fan brush. Either one would work. Tell you what, we'll blend this just a touch more maybe. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't really want to see where that red stops. Let that blue come on down and get in our red a bit. Alright, I'm going to take some cad yellow and a little bit of white. Cad yellow and white. More cad yellow than white. Or actually, sorry, I got that backwards. More white than cad yellow. Somewhere in here the sun is. And I'm just going to push it in there. And really kind of leave this chunky. Grab some more paint. Grab some more paint. And just kind of put this sunlight in. It just kind of meanders all these places. Something like that. Something like that. Be kind of loose with it. We don't have to match the photo exactly. Keep it kind of pure. If you need to, you can wipe it out on a paper towel. There we go. Yeah. Get our brightest spot right back there. Just tap that on a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then we've got some little tinges of light here. Just kind of playing around. Little. And the sun not wanting to give up on the day. Sun's better than me. Sometimes I like to give up. There. A little bit of something there. Maybe just a touch more and we'll go to a different color. Let's see what we got here. We'll cover a little bit of this up so you want more than you need. And just put it in on. Kind of loose and free. Grab a little bit right there even. Alright, I think that's pretty good. What we want for now. Now I'm going to wipe this brush off on a paper towel. You won't see that. I'm going to omit that step. Alright, so I'm going to make an orange now. Cad yellow and a touch of, let's try the bright red, see what orange that gives me. And that's the orange I want. So it's a touch of cad yellow and a touch of bright red. And it gives you a nice, almost carroty orange. Yep, that's what I wanted. Something about like that. Okay, you can add a little bit of white to it if we want. Just to make it just a touch, just to tint it. Alright. Okay, now we want to see if that's dark enough. It's not dark enough. Let's go back and get just a touch more. There, that's dark enough. Add a little bit of crimson in there. Just just a touch. And just something a little bit darker than the yellow and white. Okay? We're just loading it up on our filbert and going to lay it in here, kind of almost around this. Be careful, you could get a brown if you're not careful. Just a little bit of something else in here. And we'll blend all this out in a minute. Also going to put some clouds in. We're just laying the colors out. You get rid of that one, I don't care for that. There we go. Now, let's put a little bit around this. You see that little yellow coming in there? Or the orangey? Just a little, maybe there's a little bit comes over that sun. Something like that. We're imagining that our, you know, we can be artistic and have liberties here. So you guys know exactly what we're doing. There's the sun. I mean, if you need it. You probably don't need it. You can probably figure that out. Clean your finger after you do that. A little bit of Indian yellow and a little bit of red is nice. It is. Just kind of scrub those in, but not much pressure. You're just kind of putting it on the canvas, kind of moving it around just a touch. Just a touch. All right, let's see. We got more of these coming over here. Yeah. An Indian yellow and a bright red is the next one. Maybe a little darker even. There we go. Just enough to where you may see it. There. Something like that. This is one of those paintings you could tinker with for hours. It's your best to just kind of put it on and move along. And then if you want to paint it again, you just paint it again. Put a little bit up in here. A little bit, put a little bit of that color. Just kind of creep. Just creep. This would be a very abstracty looking Bob Ross style painting. Nothing, you know, could be a southwestern sky, I guess. I just touch a little bit right there. I don't care for that, so mix them together. There we go. Let's grab a clean brush because I've got glue on the other one, and just kind of set, careful, just set this down a little bit. There we go. There we go. And find me another brush here. So when I use all these brushes, you don't have to do that. You probably don't have as many brushes as I do, because I teach classes, and you're fine to clean brushes. So don't let me seem like that's a bad thing to do. Just be careful and keep your brushes good and dry, because a dry brush is better. It's better your brush to be dry than it is for your brush to be completely clean. And you know, if it's wet, you're going to bring up so much paint thinner into your painting that you probably don't want. I'm going to take the color we're working with and I'm going to grab a little fan brush now. You didn't think I like fan brushes anymore, but I do. What I'm going to grab is a little bit of our crimson and blue, that lavender mixture. And let's see if it's maybe too dark. No, it's about right. And I'm just going to put some things kind of sweeping down here. And I'm just kind of scrubbing, or kind of letting the brush kind of float. Honestly, something like that. Yeah, and there's a good bit of this in the sky, and it comes down into our red. So you could, if you want, we'll use a little artistic liberty here. I'm just kind of swirling some cloudy looking shapes instead of just being little stringy things. There. Maybe we need some over here, don't we? Looks like we do. Maybe a little bit more. Kind of, again, just kind of let those little stringy things come into your red. Just kind of seeing what we can do with this. I don't paint, like I said, I don't paint from photographs very often. I thought this one was pretty enough to maybe try. Careful, I almost went too far there. Get a little green if I'm not careful. And let's just fill that in right there. Man, that is a wild sky. I'm just going to mix in some clouds up here. Just something like that. Now, if we wanted to, we probably should. We'll grab another fan brush. I got another filbert here that's clean. Pure white. No yellow. Pure white. Don't put yellow and blue together. We're just kind of into some of those. Maybe just some indication of some light playing around. Especially over here on the painting or on the picture, there's just some, honestly, just some white in it. You gotta be careful with the white because it'll just look chalky. So. And again, don't pull your blue down into your nice reds and yellows. You'll live to regret it. There's a little bit of color, or a little bit of white coming in here. It's just on the bottom of these little blue patches of cloudy shapes. Okay? And we can move that around. Just I'm being careful as I get near the yellow. The yellow and blue. And I got a little green right there. Let's just cover it with some white. There we go. And just be loose. Just there. On the painting or on the picture there's something like that. Just a cloudy something. Alright. Let's see if we've about got it. Now, Georgie, I think we do. So we can take our brush here that's kind of clean. And again, just carefully start working our way up. Almost got green right there. Be careful if you paint this one. And work your way up so you'll be safe. And I'm working kind of swooping. Swoop, 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 swoop. Here, maybe a little harder. There we go. All right. That's all there is to that painting. I wanted to do a quick one. I should say that's all there is to the sky. We've got to do a couple little things down here. And I didn't put any black out. I need a little black, a little midnight black, or the black of your choosing. See what we get here. And we just need a little bit, just to cover the white, really. I also want to be careful with the black and yellow. to get green. And I'm just taking I'm taking the half round, as I call it, the little round brush, the half size. And just tapping a little bit down here, but not covering it completely. We want it pretty dark down at the base, but leave some spaces. Actually, let's just fill in that. I'm sorry for the rattling. That's where I'm using a smaller canvas. I'll just have to mute that part. And it's pretty straight across actually in the photo, but I'm again using a little bit of artistic liberty here. Artistic license. You know, Bob said when you get that first tube of paint, you can do whatever. Goodness. Raise that one up a little bit there. Yeah. And it's just black. You can do this. This is raise that one up just a little bit too. Kind of push that sunny area back. Okay. Maybe just a little bit right there to finish her off. Or is it finished off? It's not. Fill that in a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now we get to work with our script liner brush. And hopefully, I did. I brought me a brand new one to try it. Script liners are one of the finicky, I don't know the right word, fussiest, there we go, fussiest brushes you can use. Sometimes, one time they'll work great, the next time you use them they're awful. So you've got to find one that you like and can use. Alright, I've got my little script liner in here. You can watch that little video of me using it for trees. That's all we're using it for now. I'm going to load it up, making sure to twirl it, bring it to a point again. And in this painting, again, my painting will be a little different than the photograph. I should say in the photograph, there's a big tree right here. And it's about halfway up the tree. I'm sorry, halfway up the canvas. It's hard to talk and think at the same time on video. It is for me. So this is a big tree, so it's going to have a lot of branches and things, but we'll probably keep it a little smaller than the picture, just for ease of painting it. Yeah, it's actually put a couple in here. Keep that brush kicked up, okay? If you keep it kicked up, you'll have better success. Let's let this tree grow a little bit. It's a big tree. Big tree. It's got arms off of it that come out this way. And they kind of go out this way, and maybe some of them kind of hang down like that. Put you little crooks and all kinds of good stuff. Now, if you're using liquid clear, be careful, because you'll get to the point to where if you're using so much thinner on the canvas, it may start bubbling, kind of cracking. The canvas won't crack, but the paint. You'll know it when you mess with it, and you'll say, "Oh, I wish I hadn't done that." You'll be like, "Bram, quit using liquid clear in your paintings." There we go. And we're going to put a bunch of limbs on here. Pretty much, we'll have another couple little trees. Let's see how long we're at on the video. Oh, 30 minutes. So we're okay. We're okay on time. Yeah. Let branches come over each other. If you don't, it doesn't look right. Oh, well, put one right there. I made a mistake there. It's just have all kinds of things coming off of this. Like I said, this is a huge tree over at Mom and Dad's. And it won't this won't represent that tree. This will just be our tree that we make together. Let that grow just a little bit more. You know, we probably should have just put a cactus in this because it kind of looks southwesty. I think I said that before. I repeat myself, you know. I find that I repeat myself. You know, and then sometimes I think I repeat myself again. Alright, we're just adding all kinds of limbs and sticks off of this guy. This is super easy painting. Just be careful with your blues and your yellows. As long as you stay away from getting those together, there's really nothing you can mess up on this. Look, we just smacked in some bush shapes. We're not going to highlight them. It's their silhouette. It's so dark in the paint or in the picture. I keep saying painting, but it's a picture. And there are all kinds of limbs off this tree, so you could sit here and put 80 million on here and it would look like the tree that I'm painting. Because you can't count even. I mean, I couldn't even begin to count all the little things off this tree. Sometimes in a painting, though, you're better to kind of stop. And, you know, it's okay. It doesn't have to match exactly. And we'll probably stop there for that one. Let's grab just a touch more thinner. Be careful. Be careful. You know, if you were to have, and you probably don't, if you were to have available some liquid black, it's just like liquid white, but it's black. If you were to have that, you could probably use that instead of paint thinner and get some branches on here. Let's put another tree here somewhere. Sometimes you can make that work a little bit easier and you don't have that reaction with the liquid clear and the paint thinner. You can also, this painting will look just fine with liquid white. I mean, I promise you, it would. I wouldn't lie to you. Why I use liquid clear sitting here is one reason I used it. Let them go every which way. And they look more natural sometimes if you have one or two that just kind of looks odd. And odd, not like it's too big at the end. It just kind of goes out straight and then all of a sudden it says, oh, and it kind of comes back up, you know. That looks more like a natural tree than one that's, you know, just straight up and out like that. To me it does. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And if you wanted to, you could throw some little things over here that look like little trees and maybe even something in there. But I don't know that I like that one. We'll take that out at the end. Remind me. And I'm just going to, like I said, artistic liberties here. There's just some things kind of popping up through there. Let's finish this little guy and then we'll have a painting that we can call done. And I'll likely post this one unless I look at it and don't like it. Just putting a lot of color in the sky. And that's not me. I like blues and I like black and green, I guess. Phthalo green especially. So if you see me doing a colorful painting, I don't know what that means. I think I'm more like the top of the sky than the bottom here. There we go. Couple little tree friends there. Maybe there's another one here. Just something sticking up. Yeah, I like this little guy next to these bigger ones. They all just kind of grow together. Trees are friends, so make your trees have friends and let them be happy. We'll raise this one up just a touch. Way up there. Shooting for the stars. Maybe just a few more little branches on him. There. Alright, so one thing I didn't like was that little thick, got my trunk right here a little thick, so I'm just gonna just fix it. Nothing to it, nothing to it. You can do that with any of these. That's really, you really don't even see the trunk of these trees, so I'm just gonna knock them into the paint. And I think we're done. Let's sign it, call it done. I'll tell you what, we'll sign it in Bob's color here with just a touch of white. As soon as I can get some here. We'll sign it in red. A muted red, maybe. Run out. Well, I still don't know how you sign your name with 2 strokes. There's that. Alright, just a little sunset painting. Doesn't need much. Shouldn't take, if I wasn't running my mouth, you could do this in 30 minutes easy. Let's pause it here. Alright, besides the glare from my camera, not my camera, my light, it looks pretty good. So there it is, just a little easy sunset. Now when I say easy, that doesn't mean you'll won't struggle with the script liner, or you may get yellow and blue together and get you some green, but just have fun with it. It's not meant to be a painting where you sit and worry about it. Just have fun with it, let it be happy, let the colors work together. Again, just be careful with your blue and yellow and you'll be fine. But there it is. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon. Everybody stay well, be well, and be kind to each other. Take care.